In this video, we're going to be talking about how to grow a small struggling church, part 1. Now, some of these are paid strategies that you can use even if you have a small budget, and some of them are 100% free, so let's dive in. Hey, what's up? My name's Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the strategies that a church of 20 used to triple their church in only 5 months. And I'll be breaking down some of the new changes on Facebook that you're definitely going to want to hear. Coming up. All right, so step 1, you want to set up a prayer page on your website. Now, this is a really important strategy, and I'm telling you, it's more powerful than you realize. So what you want to do is you want to create a landing page specifically dedicated to prayer requests on your website. And it can be really simple, but it should have a picture or a video of you as the pastor so that people can actually connect with you as a person, right? Because Dave Ramsey says that people don't do business with nameless, faceless organizations. People do business with people. And that applies to the church world as well, right? If someone's going to be asking you to pray for them, they want to know who it is that they're talking to. They don't want to just be asking a church or group of people. So by putting a picture or a video of you just saying, hey, what's up? My name's Pastor Chris. How can I pray for you this week? Right? Now people know, hey, this is Pastor Chris on the other side that's going to be praying, right? So have a picture or a video, introduce yourself, ask how you can pray for them, and then have a really simple way for them to be able to submit a prayer request. Now, you can do this with a simple form embedded on your website, or you can have them email it to you, whatever works for you. But my favorite way is actually in step number 2. So number 2, create a chatbot in Facebook Messenger. Now, I know the word chatbot can be a little bit confusing and it sounds intimidating, but it's really not. It's basically just an automated sequence that lives inside of Facebook Messenger, right? So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure text message. So you create predetermined responses to the things that people might ask or say, and then the chatbot just delivers those responses as automated sequences. It's pretty simple. It's not hard to set up, and you can use a tool like ManyChat to set up your first chatbot. Now, the great thing about setting this up is now you can actually put this on your website, and you can actually create it so that when people click a button on your prayer page, it actually opens up Facebook Messenger on your website and kicks off your chatbot and all of your automated sequences. It's not that hard to set up, and the best thing is you only have to do it once, and then it works forever. Now, this is the future of ministry, right? So if you're a small, struggling church, you're trying to reach new people and get new people in the front door, you definitely need to at least pray about and take a look at chatbots. Even if it sounds a little bit intimidating, I totally understand that. In fact, I have a friend of mine, Pastor Will, who pastors a church of 20 people. He thought the same exact thing. But he started doing this. He ran Facebook ads that went into Facebook Messenger and kicked off his chatbot. And utilizing that strategy, he ended up tripling his church in only 5 months. Right? Simply by running Facebook ads into a chatbot. And here's another powerful example of a church that I've worked with in the past. This was a church of 50 people. Same thing, intimidated, had never run a chatbot before, didn't even know what they were. But that church of 50, in only 2 months, they were able to use chatbots to generate over 500 prayer requests and 71 new families that planned a visit to their church. And I recently talked to Pastor Scott, who pastors a church of 80 people, that ever since he started using chatbots 8 weeks ago, he's had 3 to 4 new families every single week that have come simply from the chatbot. So even though I know it might be a little bit scary, it might be a little bit intimidating, if you're a small, struggling church and you're trying to grow, this is definitely a strategy that you're going to want to utilize. So before I get to my last couple of points, if you're a small, struggling church, then you're definitely in the right place, because we are releasing new videos and new content on church growth, social media, technology, and how to reach more people online every single day, 5 days a week. All right, so step 3, create a Facebook ad. Now, Facebook ads are different than boosted posts or even an organic post, right? So an organic post is when you just go on your Facebook page and you post, hey, we've got baptisms and baby dedications coming up this Sunday, and Facebook automatically shows it to the people who like your page. Now, the bummer is that with all of the Facebook algorithm changes, organic reach on Facebook is less than 3%. So if you go on Facebook and you post about baptisms and baby dedications, Facebook's only going to show that post to less than 3% of the people that like your page. So even if you have 1,000 people that like your page, when you post, Facebook is only going to show that to about 20 or 30 of the people who actually like your page. So what is the answer? Well, it's Facebook ads. Again, a boosted post is a little bit different. That's when Facebook says, hey, this post is doing really well and performing better than 94% of your other posts. Why not put $10 behind it and show it to more people, right? That's a boosted post. But a targeted Facebook ad is when you actually go to facebook.com/ads manager and you set up a targeted Facebook ad, meaning you're gonna drop a pin on your church's location, and then you're gonna draw out a radius that is driving distance of your church. So every city is a little bit different here. For me in Tulsa, driving distance is about 15 miles, right? So people will drive about 15 minutes to church, anything farther than that, and they'll just find a church closer to home, right? I've worked with churches in New York City where this is only about 1 mile, and I've worked with churches in Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas where it's about 45 miles. And then run that Facebook ad to every single person 18 to 65 plus. Don't worry about any of the targeting. You want to leave it wide open and let Facebook's algorithm do all the heavy lifting for you. They will actually optimize your ad for people that are clicking on it and submitting prayer requests, and they'll show it to more and more people. So you have two options when you're doing this. Number one is you can run a Facebook Messenger ad that takes people straight into Messenger where it kicks off your chatbot. Or you can actually run a traffic ad optimized for link clicks, and you can send them from Facebook to your prayer page. So whichever one you prefer, if you set up the prayer page and you have that ready to go and you're already getting some prayer requests, then this is a great way. Run a traffic ad that goes to your prayer page. If not, you don't have anything set up and you're not sure exactly how to do that, then I recommend running a Facebook Messenger ad where it's just gonna run straight from Facebook into Messenger, and people are gonna submit their prayer requests through there. You don't even need a chatbot if you do it this way. You can literally just answer all of them manually through Messenger. So this is actually the ad that ties part one and part two together, right? So if you went in and you created your prayer page and now you've got a Facebook chatbot, now you're just gonna use a targeted Facebook ad to send people to your prayer page and kick off your chatbot. Now, I recently helped a friend of mine, Pastor Tony, do this in a small town. He had a church of about 60 people and they'd been stuck at 60 for about 5 years, right? So we literally just ran this exact strategy for him, did a targeted Facebook ad that ran to everybody in his small town, and we sent them into Facebook Messenger and then used a chatbot to kick off a series of sequences saying, hey, how can we pray for you? And then we invited them to plan a visit. In 3 months, Pastor Tony's church went from 60 to 110. Pretty crazy, right? The cool thing was he actually started getting recognized all over the city as the pastor that prays for people, right? So people would recognize the church, be like, oh, hey, that's the church that prays for people. And then when they saw him in the coffee shop or the grocery store or the hardware store, they say, hey, that's Pastor Tony. He's the Facebook pastor. That's the guy that prays for people, right? What a great way to get the word out about your church. They've been trying and doing everything they could, direct mail and all different types of things for 5 years, and they still felt like they had the best kept secret in town. But within 3 months of running Facebook ads and utilizing chatbots, they were able to go from 60 to 110 people, increase their impact, and grow their church. Now, there's been a bunch of changes recently with Apple releasing their new iOS 14, which has changed Facebook ads quite a bit, right? So if you've heard anything about that, you might be nervous. Hey, Chris, does this strategy still work? What about iOS 14, right? Or you may have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. The good news is both of these strategies still work even with the iOS 14 changes. So they're gonna change conversion ads and probably a bunch of other stuff that you're not doing anyway. But if you run a traffic ad that goes to your prayer page or a Facebook Messenger ad that goes into Messenger, it doesn't matter, you're gonna be fine. Now, one of the best parts about Facebook ads is there's actually no set price. So one of the questions I get asked from churches that are running Facebook ads for the very first time, I get this question all the time, is to say, okay, Chris, well, how much does Facebook ads cost, right? And the best part is they don't. You get to choose, right? So there's no set price. Basically, the more money you pay Facebook, the more people they'll show your ad to. So let's just say that for every $20 you spend on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg shows your ad to 1,000 people. Right? 20 bucks, you reach 1,000 people. So you could be running at $20 a day and reach 1,000 people a day, or you could spread it out. Maybe you want to run at $5 a day and you're reaching 250 people a day, right? Either way, you're still reaching 1,000 people for every $20 that you spend, so you can find the perfect amount that fits in your church budget. Okay, so if you're a small struggling church, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm telling you, I literally give away all of my best stuff, all of my secrets, everything that I've learned over the years and that I've used to help churches grow their church, we put into these videos. So I want to invite you to go check out How to Grow a Small Struggling Church, Part 2. Click on the link in the description below. We'll see you there.